Paris, Timothy, you went and saw Lego Horizon Adventures at the one, the only SGF behind closed doors. I am a benevolent God and gave up all of my PlayStation appointments to Tim.
I appreciate it.
So he could
much.
play Astrobot because he, of course, is the platformer. But I have to ask, I know you were excited about Astrobot. Tim, did Lego exceed your expectations?
So here's what I want to do. I just want to say one quick thing, and then I want to let Paris go off on Lego. I want to get all of his in-depth thoughts on this, okay?
Yeah.
My top level, I'm incredibly surprised at Lego Horizon Adventures. I went in kind of being like, it is what it is. And it's more than that. It's more than that, Greg.
Okay.
Very surprised by this. But Paris, what did you think about it?
It's so funny you're saying that because I had the same mentality. I was just thinking, okay, Horizon, Lego, whatever. When I sat down and started playing that, I just had a stupid grin on my face the entire time. It was a lot of fun playing that. And I look at it from the perspective always with these type of games, what would my kids think?
Yeah.
My kids would eat this up. Kids are going to love this. I get why it's on the Switch. It takes the Horizon world and it simplifies it down into that Lego universe, and just even the banter that Aloy and some of the other side characters, your companions that you'll have during the time I played, hilarious, just hilarious in that Lego style. Obviously, the Lego mechanics that you've seen in some of these other games, they're being applied here into the Horizon world. Just works. And it was fun. The co-op part that we did as well, loved it.
Oh, you guys actually do the couch co-op?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, did the couch co-op as well. Yeah, it was great. I had a blast. Like, if anything, when we completed it, because I played it about 45 minutes to an hour, however long it was. And when we did the boss at the end, I was like, man, I want to play some more of this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they did a great job. We played it on PlayStation 5. It's great. Looked great. Played great. Had a lot of fun.
So, Paris, I think I'm aware, Tim, you've never connected with Horizon all the way. You've played them.
Yeah.
Did you finish them both?
Yeah, finished both. I didn't do the DLC, didn't do Burning Shores.
Sure.
Yeah. And, I enjoy it. I think it's beautiful and gorgeous. There's just something about the, like, overall narrative and the main adventure that just doesn't stand out to me, even though there's a lot of highlight moments that I love a lot.
Okay. And then, Paris, what's your history with Horizon?
Oh, no, I'm a huge Horizon fan. Through Forbidden West, obviously everything, Burning Shores, all of that. Yeah, I love it. And that was kind of my thing, knowing there is a slight difficulty layer to playing Horizon games.
Sure.
And this makes it very accessible to kids to want to jump in. It's very pick up and playing this game. Really, really liked it.
So my question then is, where did they start you, Tim? Was it the beginning of the game, and was it the pretty much pitch perfect retelling of it, or like how much were you bored, or were you entertained? Where were you, Tim?
So starting place with this, I feel it plays very differently than the other Lego games, like any other Lego game that I've played.
And worth pointing out, of course, this is Guerrilla teaming up with Studio Gobo. Is that how we're saying it?
Yes, that's what they're saying. So yeah, it's
TT Games. The
Nope,
people
not
who,
TT
if you're
Games.
thinking of most Legos, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Marvel, that was TT Games. That is not these people.
The person that I demoed it with was from Guerrilla, and I was like questioning, like, so Guerrilla is working on this. He's like, yeah, it's very much a partnership with Gobo, but like there are Guerrilla team members that are actively involved in the production and development of this. And so that alone, it's like you hear Lego, you kind of like put into a bucket of what this is going to be. When you look at it, you can tell something's different than the other Lego games. And I couldn't place what it was until they told me. Every single thing on screen, every single thing is a real Lego piece. Like other Lego games, it's like, all right, cool, you're a Lego, but the world isn't. Or part of the world's not, the sand is sand, but then the building's Lego or whatever.
Totally.
Sand is Lego here. Water is Lego here. Fire is Lego. Every single thing can be recreated with real, actual Lego pieces. That alone to me, I was like, wow, that's what sets this apart visually. And that's how the movies function, right? The Lego movies. This looks like you're playing a Lego movie.
I noticed that with the animation, right? The way Aloy's bounding around. Yeah, that it was like, oh, that's exactly the movie.
It's incredibly impressive. Okay. It is very, very kind of like mind-blowingly beautiful. And I think it really suits the gameplay well of it surprisingly plays like Hades. You know, and
what? I didn't think of that.
Okay,
yeah.
What?
You're kind of right. Yeah.
And just in the sense that like you can control the camera, You're very much in like the camera is set to the way that it moves and the way that you're doing the different attacks. It's very kind of like grid based, and like the way you're shooting your arrow. It's and I'm saying Hades because I've been playing a lot of Hades recently.
Sure, there's a lot of games that do that,
that do
obviously,
it too,
yeah.
but. Just in terms of the basic combat, it really feels like the basic combat of Hades.
Okay.
A lot more simple.
Sure.
But like not the most simple, not the most dumbed down. Like this is very much a kid experience, but like there is something here for us too. I don't think that it's necessarily like, oh man, this is gonna be the best game you ever play, but like there's fun here. And now to answer your question, the game, what we got to do did start at the very beginning of Horizon, and it does a Lego retelling of the beginning of Horizon. And it seems like the developers telling me this is going to be a semi retelling of the first game, but in classic Lego fashions, they're saying that of course Horizon 20 to 30 hour game. This not necessarily going to be that, so things will be cut. They're going to speed through some stuff and maybe take a couple different story directions. And he's being vague about some of the other details there. But what we played is straight out of Horizon 1. Like it is very much just the beginning of the game. And to the point of Paris saying like that it's very funny, and like to what I'm saying about it being more similar to the Lego movie than to previous Lego games, there were multiple times that I actually laughed. Not just like whatever.
And that's a great one to pull over real quick. And I know we're watching the trailer sound down. Forgive me if you know it, audience, and I've forgotten from the reaction. Are there voices?
Yes.
Are there grunts? Okay.
Voices.
There was. I remember hearing Ashley
yes.
Burch, and she actually had like personality,
And-
unlike Aloy in the first game.
And they were saying that like it's the voice cast from the original game. He said something that made it sound like maybe it's not all of them.
We can wiggle a little bit on this. Yeah.
Like it, the core people are. But one line that I wrote down that like I think is a good example of the level of comedy that this game hits. A bunch of the villagers get taken or whatever, and then the warrior one, I forget her name. She's just like, how many people did they take? And she goes, I don't know. You know how hard it is to count without fingers. And there's just something about
I remember that.
the delivery of it was so good, and it's like they just get it. They get what they're doing. They get who they're making this game for. And I just think it's a really smart retelling of a story to a new audience, like kids that might not have played Horizon, but even for people that have played it, getting these like little bits like that like, it's like, oh, that's clever. That's funny. And like for a Lego humor that we've now had for at least a decade, like I feel like the Lego games have always had it. The Lego side movies and like animated things have always kind of had that vibe too, but the Lego movie instilled a different style of comedy, that more Lord and Miller type vibe. I'm getting that from this.
Well,
so very, very impressed.
Okay.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. This year is going by so quickly. I'm literally getting married this month, so I know all about that. When life goes so fast, it's important to take a moment to celebrate your wins and make adjustments to the rest of your year. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months. Therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really stick. Some of my best friends use BetterHelp and love how helpful it can be for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit betterhelp.com/kindafunny today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/kindafunny.
Michael Howard, what do they got to do to get you to pick up the controllers for this one?
I guess co-op, how easy is it? Is it drop in, drop out? Is it the whole experience? I want to know about co-op, and then I have another follow-up one as well.
So co-op, 2-player co-op. You can play online. It is not cross-platform with Switch, and it is drop in, drop out.
Nice. And then the customization, we saw a really cool little like base building mechanic, not as in-depth as a survival game, but there was some customization of making it fun. What is that?
Really, really fun, actually. That was another thing that surprised me. So there's this, your little base, like you kind of upgrade it over time, and seems pretty simple, but it seems like all it really needs to be for what they're doing here. But the cool thing is you upgrade it and there'll be like the store or like the little training grounds or like all the different buildings. You can then go in and just change the style of those buildings. So it's like you can change it to the entire world is Ninjago style, or the entire world is Lego City style, or classic Lego style. And then you unlock some of the more iconic Lego figures like the Spaceman or the Skeleton,
Spaceman, you gotta love
or like one that I saw, like the little Indiana Jones ripoff, kind of like Tomb Raider type character.
Yeah.
Like I was very interested. I was like, oh man, they're doing this right. Paris, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I loved it because like I took the one building and I made it a tall neck. And then to your point, you can go in and unlock some of the classic Lego, characters or suits or however you want to describe it as well, which is fun. I mean, they're not taking themselves too seriously in this game. And that's what I like the most about it. Like you even were mentioning before with the joke about it not having fingers, even when Aloy gets her scanner for the first time. I forget the exact dialogue to it, but the way she's just like, whoa, so excited about it. It was very funny, laugh out loud kind of stuff. I think they're doing this right. They're doing it really good. I think, again, Mike, to your point, this is very accessible to go pick up, whether you do it co-op or just want to do it on your own. They make it very easy to jump in and play. And, the dialogue's very, lighthearted, and even though it's kind of retelling Zero Dawn, they're doing it in a smart way. I think the Guerrilla rep I was playing with, he said probably about 8 hours you could complete this, in a sitting. So yeah, it's fun. Looks good.
My next question would be, as a longtime fan of Lego games and a fan of Horizon, how are they doing mission structure open world, right? In the old days, we had seen Lego games like the old Star Wars. You were very specifically picking what you're going to go do. And then, of course, it evolves into things like the Lego Batman series, where you're in open world, Metropolis open world, Gotham, go find the thing. What does this look like in terms of connective tissue?
We didn't get to play too much. Like he said,
Okay.
it was about 45 minutes. So the first mission that you play by yourself is kind of just like the opening, and then they jump you ahead just a little bit, like not much, like still opening hours of the original game. And we did some co-op there. It does not seem open at all. Like it seems very linear, seems very,
it's
very
very
like
linear.
chapter mission based. But then in between the missions, there is your kind of like home base that you're adding to and like changing up the aesthetics of. But yeah, it's not open world at all.
Okay, fair enough. Where are you expecting to come down on price, Tim?
Did we not already know?
No, right now, if you went to, at least, and please correct me if I'm wrong, the PlayStation page just has a wish list button, not a pre-order button, not an actual thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's tough to say because I do think this feels budget. Like I do think just in the sense
Not
of
a
like
dirty way.
no, yeah,
Alright.
no, like a purposeful way, like Ratchet and Clank 2016. Like
Got
I
it.
feel like budget. I take that back. I shouldn't have even said that word. I feel like this seems like a smaller title that I feel like will be priced to reflect that. But I don't think in terms of budget, this game looks high budget. Like I can't stress enough how impressed I am with the visuals of the game. You feel like you're playing a Lego movie. That's so impressive. So yeah, I think that there's a lot there. But I don't know. With modern pricing, it gets a little bit weird. But like, I think $50 would be like a great price for this.
Okay. And they're saying holiday 2024.
Yeah.
Barrett Courtney from the Peanut Gallery. Actually, you know what? I was thinking this the other day, or in the shower today. We should start calling when you pop up. We have a question from the BCC, the Barrett Courtney corner.
I like that.
They get a little graphic put around you, the
Boss
BCC.
Baby's book corner. Remember that?
I do remember
that. I put this question in chat. I'm just wondering from y'all on the panel. Do we think this was the rumored Zero Dawn remake that, like, remember was rumored like a year or two ago, and then we never really
Maybe.
heard anything about? Because I was thinking of like how
Did
weird it would
screenshots not leak for that?
Maybe,
No?
maybe
I don't think so.
remember that, but like I just think it'd be such a weird play to like do a retelling of the first game, but then also remake the first game. So
I think that's a good call. The fact that Guerrilla was heavily involved in this, from a resource standpoint, how are they doing this and doing a real, remake of Zero Dawn at the same time? So this is probably it. It's in Unreal 5 too. So I don't know.
I bet
Make a
that
lot
they're
of
still
sense.
doing that. I bet they're still doing it. Because again, I think now more than ever, you can see they clearly think Horizon is
Horizon's the
a
thing.
pillar franchise of PlayStation. So again, when you get closer to, they're the Amazon show or the Netflix show? There's a God of War show, and then there's the Horizon
Pretty
show.
sure God of War is Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then
Horizon's
this would be
supposed to be
Netflix.
Netflix.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when they get close to that Netflix show, it's going to be the same thing as Last of Us, where they want you
Yeah.
buy a PS5,
Blitz.
and there's the white and blue box that is.
One thing I want to point out, this might have just been a preview issue, is it had that weird, there's no sound effects problem. Like there was a lot of things where the characters would be talking to each other and the VO was great and the music's great, but like clearly there was supposed to be sound effects and they weren't happening.
Gotcha.
Reminded me of like a Kingdom Hearts trailer.
Sure.
And it was off because it didn't match the production. And I asked the dev, I'm like, is there supposed to be sound effects here? And he goes, oh yeah, definitely. And I was like, well, there's not. And he goes, oh, that might be a demo problem. So that's just a weird thing. I didn't get, like, he said that there's supposed to be sound effects. There definitely were not sound effects. I don't know.
I didn't notice that.
Okay, so-
yeah, I think that might have just been your. There was like a crash one time when I played, but again, demo, whatever.
Totally.
Kind of thing.
Just want to point that out because it is something I flagged of like, ooh, this is not up to snuff if this is the plan for this.
Sure.
But they told me it wasn't. So
I got one topic, but two super chats that I think pertain to it. All right, I'll read them both and we'll go from there. Mellow Fellow gives a super chat on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, just like you can be part of the show, and says, dumb reasons aside, will Lego Aloy be the best Aloy? And then CJ follows up and says, what if Aloy acts more like Lego Aloy in part 3? I find that an interesting one. Of course, who knows how far along they are on part 3, but I think as somebody who loves the Horizon games, I do agree with the criticism that Aloy is pretty bland in them. And I think they did a good job with Burning Shores of giving her more to work with emotionally and having her actually talk through what her emotions are. And so it's kind of a sliding scale of, I think they recognized there was an issue, or at least feedback, started to address it in Burning Shores, and I would expect part 3 to tackle it more. But I do wonder if the amount of fun this voice cast had making this game will somehow lead to fun over there.
I don't think so. I think that there's a middle ground that they're going to want to hit, and I think that, like it sounds like you're saying in Burning Shores, they even start going more in that direction. I think they'll find. I very much enjoyed this. I think it's funny. I think that there's a lot to love in Ashley Burch's performance here. It's an annoying character. It's a Lego game. You know what I mean? It's like this character ramped up to like be very quippy and be very like like this is not like a good strong. Oh, we want her to be more like that. It's just it's.
But maybe she cracks a joke or two.
Yeah, but like this is definitely, I think, ratcheted up in a way of like this is not the direction for the main character, but I think it's a great take on a character for this Lego world that they're building. But like I do, from my experience with this, it is not the answer to just take this character and be like, yeah, in 3 she's gonna be more like that. Like I think that's way too far. Do you agree, Paris?
I agree. This is the most personality that Aloy's had in a Horizon game, but this is not the Aloy that you would want in part 3. No.
Paris, my question again is from the Lego camp of my head, because I got the Lego camp, I got the Horizon camp. Again, the TT games I would love as a trophy hunter because they were collectathons. They were, sure, do the story, but then you're doubling back to unlock new characters, to try to get Master Jedi or whatever it is, true hero, true believer in Marvel, like get all the studs, pick up all this stuff. Paris, were there hints at that when you were playing it? I understand. I can visualize the combat because I'm seeing it. What was the moment to moment outside of that looking like?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what Tim thinks on that, but it didn't seem like it to me.
Okay.
No, I would say no. Nothing that stands out to me that it would be that way. Like it was a collectathon at all. No.
It was interesting where it's definitely like what we saw is not the traditional Lego. There's things everywhere to get because again, it is
smash and break into pieces and do all that.
It's so linear and like you can't move the camera, so it's like the map is what it is. So it's like there's not really like a ton of hidden areas. Having said that, there's the gameplay is very simple. I think overall it's very simple, but I don't think it's like so simple that there's like nothing to do. Like I think an example is, so it's one stick controls, right? Like you're not using the second stick at all. Like it's designed
not
so
spinning
that
the camera, like
little kids can play it and all that stuff. But there's a lot of like fun things that like, even though it's only one button to like shoot your arrow, right? There's fun strategy where it's like if you shoot your arrow through a campfire, the arrow lights on fire and then it can like hit a bush and it burns the bush. And if you burn the bush, there might be a secret behind the bush. So there's like different setups, like even in what I played, where it's like there was it's one path, but there was the main path forward that you definitely have to do the arrow thing to get through and to progress. But then if you look, it's like, there's a challenge version of this of like there's two bushes next to each other.
Okay.
If I shoot the arrow through that, it'll burn that, which will lead to burning that. And then once that happened, I unlocked like some secret collectible, something. But like it wasn't like there's things everywhere. It's like it just seems like there are kind of like ratcheted up challenges to get stuff, which I thought was like pretty cool.
Yeah.
And again, it adds to the. It doesn't just feel like break a chest, get a thing. It feels like part of the reward is the animations that are happening of seeing the bush light on fire and like it all being actual Lego pieces. Like it's very cool. And like there was a waterfall and you go behind the waterfall. Like it
There
feels,
better be a chest back there.
totally. It's like there is things to get, but I don't feel like that's necessarily the point's not collectathon. I think the point is experience.
Yeah, you just reminded me, Tim, of one fun gameplay mechanic. I guess it was towards the end when you fought the boss and there's the human enemies that you fight as well. You can pick them up and you can throw them, and there's like that thorn area, and you can throw them into the thorns as well, and that provides damage. Then you can pick up those barrels. They're like bombs, and you can throw them at the boss as well. So it's little fun stuff like that you can do as well, from the traditional gameplay that you would see in Horizon.
What I thought you were going to say is the boss fight that we did towards the end was really cool because, yeah, there's these little bombs you can kind of pick up, like barrels, you throw them, and then they explode on the grass, and they light the grass on fire, and the effect of it looks so cool above Legos lighting on fire.
Because it's Lego Fire, like you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like literally every single thing in the game's Lego, like everything, which is so
you can
impressive.
hide in the Lego grass as well, like you in Horizon.
Yep.
It's good.
But what I thought was really cool, this is basic stuff, but I feel like an example of the game not being like the most simple, it's for 4-year-olds type stuff, is in the boss fight, you can shoot off different pieces of the armor of the character, and it's literally shooting the Lego pieces off of it. Like it has these weak points, and you don't need to. You could just keep attacking, and it'll eventually kill the thing. But if you wanted to have a bit more strategy and you wanted to play this like a bit more of a quote unquote grown-up game, it's there. The flexibility's there, and like they are designing this around knowing that there are probably going to be a lot of parents playing with their kids in co-op and being able to make it a fun experience for both of them equally in different ways. I really think this is one to keep your eyes on and to not write off as just another Lego thing.
Okay, Mike, are you going to keep your eye on it?
Yeah, I actually am. This really sold me and got me excited, especially the idea of online co-op is a big thing for me. I'm in.
Well, I mean, there's a super chat here from Joey Burns, not our Joey.
Joey Burns.
I think it points it out pretty clear. You're going to be excited for couch co-op, too, because Mike's kids will love Lego Horizon.
Me and Andy are going to play it, too.
You and your best friend. And then also a super chat from Kebabs, who will never give up his "you're wrong" credentials, pointing out that, of course, it makes sense. TT Games' Lego movie game also had everything as Lego, too, which would be obviously, you're correct in terms of like the Lego Batmans and all that. Yeah. They used things that weren't Lego. But yeah, obviously Lego movie, which everything was Lego and blah, blah,
Very
being
cool.
inspired by that. It makes perfect sense.